Does your baby struggle significantly with diaper changes, leading to significant distress? If so, it could be a sign of sensory processing challenges.
But first, I'm Jessica.
And I'm Rachel, and we're the in-house occupational therapy assistants here at Harkla.
And today we're going to talk about some signs of sensory processing challenges or sensory processing disorder that we can see in infancy.
Now, this is a topic really near and dear to our hearts because what we have found as OT practitioners is that the earlier you intervene and you provide therapy services for a child showing sensory processing challenges, the better off they are. So we are here advocating for early intervention.
Yes, now we often talk about sensory processing disorder in older children, but like Rachel mentioned, we can often see some of these things starting in infancy or even see some signs that might indicate of SPD, but we can see them even before birth. Now keep in mind, as we're talking about all the things we're going to talk about in this video, that just because some of these things might occur in your baby or might have occurred with your baby doesn't guarantee that they're going to have sensory processing disorder. It's more of like, hey, here's something to look out for, and here's what you might notice, and then we'll also give you some things that you can do if this is happening or if you've seen this, but just know that it's not a guarantee. It's not an always if then, just keeping an open eye out for it.
But also keep an open eye out for the fact that sensory processing challenges are highly genetic as well. So maybe you're going through this list and you're like, oh, that happened to me, or I noticed that I struggle with that, or this is definitely my partner.
Or an older child.
Or a sibling. Keep that in mind as well, because there are a lot of environmental things that can potentially contribute to sensory processing challenges, but a large component of sensory challenges is actually genetics as well.
Some other things to keep in mind when we're talking about sensory processing disorder is trauma before baby is born or trauma during the birth process can have a huge impact on the sensory system. So if you are having a baby soon, if you have a new baby, these are things to just take a look at and say, okay, we've got some trauma that happened or, some trauma that affected the birth, so we know what we can do now to help.
Yeah, and just thinking about, was there times during pregnancy where there was significant stress on the mother? There was a research article done on an earthquake in New Zealand, and they had followed these children and these mothers who were pregnant at the time of this significant earthquake. And following these children, they found that a lot of them, I'll have to pull up the article to give you the exact numbers.
We can link it in the
description.
We'll link it,
but a lot of them did have sensory processing challenges and retained primitive reflexes as well. So it's just a really interesting article. Yeah. Geek out with us and check it out too.
Yeah, we'll link it for you, plus some other research articles that we found. Also keep in mind that if there are any interventions during birth, like a C-section or forceps, this can impact the natural birth process, which can impact sensory processing later on.
There also is a research article that we'll link that talked about a small study that they did on children who were born prematurely, on children who were born via C-section, and children who were born vaginally. And they found that the children who were born via C-section had 80% of them had sensory processing challenges, and I think 82% of the children with who were born prematurely had sensory processing challenges as well. So that's something to keep in mind, that regardless of how your baby was born or even how you were born, the fact is we're here and we're hopefully thriving, but if we're not, at least we know now what to look out for, and we can say, oh, this happened, now we have a word for it, and we can look at their sensory processing challenges, and this is where we can go from here.
Yes.
All right, just a quick pause because we want to let you know we have an exciting live webinar coming your way on June 4th.
We are going to be talking all about sensory processing and how to create sensory diet routines, and we're going to talk specifically about summer, since that's an area or a time of the year where our sensory kids struggle a lot.
You will earn AOTA CEUs, 0.2 AOTA CEUs if you are a therapist and you take your post-test, but we would love to have you there. Even if you can't make it live, still register because you do get access to the recording, to the handouts, to the freebies, everything that we are sharing with you from this live webinar.
Yep, the link to sign up is below in the description, so we will see you there.
Okay, bye.
Next, we're going to talk about some signs that we might see in infancy that can indicate sensory processing disorder. And the first one is colic. And the next one is delayed or missed milestones. So if baby isn't able to do adequate tummy time, if they don't roll to both sides, if they skip crawling, these delays or missed milestones can indicate some sensory processing challenges.
The next is significant distress in the car or in car seats. You know, this isn't just like once in a while. This is like the minute they get into the car and it starts moving, they are inconsolable for the entire time. So this lets us know that there might be some challenges with visual, auditory, vestibular processing, and that could be a sign of some potential sensory processing challenges.
Yep, another one would be significant adverse responses during diaper changes, during bathing, especially when you are tipping baby's head back to wash their head or their hair, or if they don't tolerate you washing their face, washing their hands. Some of that tactile processing challenge is going to come out and show during these daily routine activities.
Another common sign we'll see is when a child or a baby does not mouth things in infancy. So starting around 3 months is when babies will bring toys to their mouth, bring their hands to their mouth. Ideally, they'll bring their toes to their mouth. You hand them a toy and they immediately put it in their mouth. And that's how babies learn about their environment, is through their oral structures. Now, if a baby is not mouthing things, that could be a potential sign of these sensory processing challenges. So we want to make sure that we're paying attention to that and we're noticing, is my baby putting everything in their mouth? Great. If not, let's look into that.
Yes. Another sign would be trouble with feeding, and this could look like trouble latching. This could look like insufficient weight gain because they're not able to get enough calories. Maybe they have significant reflux every single time they feed. These could also indicate sensory processing challenges.
Yep. Another one is significant distress with messy play activities, or their face is messy, or you gently wipe off their face and they are having severe adverse reactions. They are extremely uncomfortable and they do not like either being messy or being washed or having any tactile input on their hands or on their face or even on their entire body.
Yep, and then another one is going to be if they're not imitating noises and facial expressions, if they're not engaging with you when you're playing with them, if they just are acting like they're not visually connecting. These could be some signs of sensory processing challenges as well.
Now, if you listen to that list and you're like, check, 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 oh my goodness, this is what my baby is struggling with, the first thing you're going to want to do is make sure that you get a referral for occupational therapy.
Yes.
And make sure that you are addressing these concerns from the inside out. We always recommend in-person therapy services whenever possible. Going along with that, working with a functional medicine practitioner, working with a functional chiropractor, a neurology-focused chiropractor can be really helpful for babies from the day that they're born and on, as well as for the family too, to just make sure that we are all aligned and feeling good. And I mean, the nice thing about chiropractors with babies is they're not cracking their necks. It's like such a gentle approach. And
it kind of looks like they're not doing anything.
It does, yeah. What are we paying for here? No, I'm kidding.
But you'll notice the difference.
Exactly. It's just, this should be something that every baby goes through, because the birth experience, especially if they were birthed with, you know, a C-section or vacuum or forceps, that is a lot of trauma to the spine, and we should be soothing that spine and making sure that we're taking all of the precautions.
Yeah, and the next one is going to be more floor time and less container time as much as possible. We talk about this a lot, and we think less is more when it comes to containers. And if we can put baby on the floor for free floor play, free movement play, the majority of waking hours, this is really going to help them develop their sensory system from moving their body freely, looking around at their environment, hearing everything. This is really going to promote primitive reflex integration, which we need to see for proper development. We're going to see those milestones hit when they can get more free floor play time. So as much floor time as possible during waking hours.
The next one going along with that is baby wearing. I know we say don't use containers, but baby wearing is truly not a container, because all of the benefits outweigh any of the potential contraindications or side effects, right? So you can baby wear when you're going for a walk, when you go into the grocery store, when you go anywhere. And
even around the house.
Just around the house, absolutely. And instead of taking baby into the grocery store with you and you leave them in their car seat or their car seat stroller, try taking them out so that way they can experience the world. They can get more visual, vestibular, auditory input. Baby wearing is a great way to also calm the baby's nervous system, especially if they have reflux or colic. Baby wearing is a great strategy.
Yes. All right, next is baby massage. Now there are specific baby massage techniques out there that you can look into, but really just providing baby with some deep touch pressure. Maybe this is after bath time with some lotion and you are providing some massage to their arms, their legs, their hands and fingers, their feet and toes, their back, their face. Just gentle massage is going to provide some really great tactile and proprioceptive input. This is also a really great time to sing and talk to your baby, engage with them in a playful, fun way that can be really great for building that connection while providing some really great sensory input.
And going along with that, our last tip is turning on music, singing, making eye contact with your baby, really making sure that you are building that connection, which it kind of sounds silly to say, but sometimes we are just tired and we're just going through the motion. We forget and we just need a reminder. Your baby just needs you. They don't need all the toys. They don't need all the things. They just need you. They need to read your lips. They need to see your eyes. They need to see your facial expression, hear your voice, turn on some music, sing with them, dance with them. It's a really simple way to bond and build rapport with your baby.
Yes. Now, if you are a parent of a baby, or if you're going to be having a baby, or if you are a therapist working in early intervention, birth to 3 years old, we have our digital course, the Early Intervention Blueprint, which is full of sensory and primitive reflex integration activities. We talk about developmental milestones, and we give you an entire library of sensory activities for children ages birth to 3 years old. Definitely going to check that out if you enjoyed this video.
Yes, make sure if you like this video, you send it to someone you like, you subscribe, all the things. We want to hear your thoughts. If you maybe learned something new from this video, let us know, or if you want to share a thought that you had, please don't hesitate to leave a comment.
Yes, make sure you're following us on Instagram. We are at Harkla_family, as well as at All Things Sensory Podcast.
Don't forget to listen to our podcast. We have a ton of helpful information there. You can find it on its own YouTube channel, All Things Sensory, or on any major podcast platform.
Yep, and with that, we will see you next time for a new video.
Okay, bye. I forgot that I needed to say that. Okay, try again. Yes. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Sure can. So here are some things.